to kind of eliminate the problem before it started, or give a few solutions or problems to the solution, solutions to the problem, however you want to look at it. So let me give you the background on this issue, on why the video is being taken. I was talking to a coach. This coach has a son. Son happens to be a quarterback. They had a meeting with an orthopedic specialist. Just education purposes. They were in the same place at the same time. The athlete wasn't hurt or anything, and they started getting into, well, what should I be doing with my quarterback? What's going to be harmful for him, and so on and so forth. And this particular orthopedic specialist happened to be a baseball guy. He was a baseball specialist, deals with a lot of throwers, a lot of Major League Baseball throwers. So the gist of it, coming secondhand, of course, coming from the coach, was, well, hey, you need to eliminate all these lifts from it. You need to eliminate deadlift. You need to eliminate anything that provides additional stress to the athlete's shoulder. You need to eliminate front squats. You need to eliminate bench press. You need to eliminate anything that adds that stress that doesn't need to be there. Well, when he was telling me this, emotions started coming up, and because I tend to know a little better in terms of the weight room in my experience with certain athletes and throwers especially. So I got somewhat defensive and just shared with the coach what I actually thought, which was the athlete in question was, he's a great athlete, 5-star athlete, is recruited by all the colleges around the nation, but he doesn't have any health issues. He has a tight hip flexor. His shoulder is in perfect health. This coach just happened to be, just concerned about what we're doing in the weight room. So I've come up, and this question and this solution, these problems have come up a lot because you get some ortho doctors that have a lot of solutions to problems that they think are solutions, when in reality it's going to just create a lot more problems by eliminating the lifts. The solution isn't to eliminate lifts, okay? So I've made a couple of things that we need to look at here, and hopefully it'll clear up a lot of issues, or even educate some people that might need some pointers on this, because it's going to come up a lot with sports performance coaches, strength conditioning coaches, anybody that deals with weight room, orthopedic specialists. Baseball in particular happens to be very timid in terms of relationships with the weight room. What do we do? What don't we do? How do we do it? All of that stuff. So this ortho recommendation, and I've come across this quite a bit. We're in Birmingham, Alabama, so this is like the orthopedic capital of the world. There's orthopedic experts everywhere, thanks to Dr. Andrews. So this is going to come up a lot. It's going to come up with physical therapists. It's going to come up with athletic trainers, what to do and what not to do in the weight room with certain particular athletes. So some of the recommendations that I've been hearing is, let's eliminate certain lifts. Let's eliminate everything that we can that are going to cause stress that particular area. Well, my background in knowing the situations that are going to occur is, why? Why do we do that? Why not coach the actual lift up in order to prevent that stress on the areas? Let me give you an example. So eliminating lifts, why don't we just coach the correct technique in those lifts? So for instance, I was baffled by him saying that front squats were going to add additional stress to the shoulder area, which makes no sense to me at all when all of the weight is sitting on the shoulders or the deltoids and doesn't cause that particular stress to the joint. It's not on the joint. So if we coach it up right, I've seen coaches teach the clean and catch right here. I've seen coaches teach a front squat this way. Is this going to cause additional stress if they hold the bar right here? Absolutely it is. But if we coach the correct technique, it's going to eliminate a lot of those issues. So the next thing is weight room experience. What kind of orthopedic specialists or orthopedic doctors spend a lot of time in the weight room? And so that's another problem that I have with him having these recommendations. Why is he even making them? Why not say, hey, let's just make sure that this particular athlete is on his P's and Q's about the technique. Watch the weight. If he's straining so much that he's taking away the technique, then you need to lighten the weight. I mean, it just makes no sense that you would recommend to a coach to eliminate certain lifts, because we all know back in the day when they tried to eliminate squats, don't squat past 90 degrees. We all know now that was a bunch of crap. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm getting to here. Eliminating the lift is not the solution. Really, actually, just making sure the athlete is healthy enough to take on that particular weight and those particular lifts. That's the way to do it. So, which leads me to number 3. So, injuries versus performance. Injuries, in particular, are where the doctors are concerned with. So, naturally, they're going to tell a parent or athlete, just don't do it. Well, when they tell a parent or athlete, just don't do it, and then they come into a facility like this, or they give a coach a recommendation, that carries with it certain types of weight. There was an athlete that was cleared perfectly healthy, and he was cleared for all sporting activities, but this particular orthopedic doctor said, let's don't put any weight anywhere. No weight bearing exercise. Well, if the athlete's healthy and cleared for all exercise, all sports, all activities, why can't I add progression and resistance to them? So either the athlete's healthy or the athlete's not. So I have problems with that, obviously. So the doctor's really concerned with injuries, and their easiest solution to it, because they really, to be honest with you, are ignorant of the whole situation on why they get those injuries in the first place, is they're trying to eliminate the injury. So they think the injury or the problem is the weight room, when it's really not. It's really identifying the risk in the athlete. If we identify the risk in the athlete, we're gonna eliminate a lot of the issues. The athlete that I alluded to at the beginning of this was perfectly healthy. He's perfectly healthy. He moves really well. He's a great mover. He has no issues with his shoulders or thoracic or core area or leg. I mean, the athlete is perfectly healthy and a great athlete at that. And we've been doing a lot of great things with it, but it just baffles my mind how orthopedic specialists can make recommendations like this when they don't really know that particular athlete. Athletes can take different types of stress. And let's all remember that stress creates adaptation. Okay, if we take that stress away, then we're creating a much bigger issue, much bigger dysfunctions than they may or may not already have. So making sure your athletes are tested, given a movement screen, and making sure they have perfect clearance, or maybe they have dysfunctions that can be progressed or regressed the lifts with. But let's not recommend of eliminating lifts. It makes no sense whatsoever. So hopefully this clears some things up, and maybe even spawn some more questions. Make sure you post on this channel, and I'd love to hear all of your recommendations and reviews.